G'day, welcome to the show. Soul Covers here. As you can see on my screen, there is lots of red on it. Hate to see that. We did not have a good day yesterday, but better things are promised. I know that for a fact. We have 5 bets locked in this WNBA slate, and all 5 of them are ahead of the market. And look, for those of you who have been tuning in, say you're just an NBA fan, like, fair enough if you don't want to like tail the WNBA bets, you don't want to engage with the WNBA content. But if you're strictly a person who wants to make money betting, give it a go. Like, this is my first season really paying attention to the WNBA, betting on it, and like the edges that I can find here in these WNBA markets are just so much. There's so many more like bad numbers being posted. There's so many more like discrepancies in the market, just stuff you can take advantage of, which you don't find as often in the NBA, especially in the NBA playoffs. But like, there were a couple bets I made today where they were just these bad numbers that were just sitting there for like an hour. Like, one of my bets was an under on a total that was like 3 points off market for a very long time. And like, why not take advantage of this? So look, if you're a fan of making money, please give the WNBA a go, because there is a lot of money to be made in the W. So looking back, game 5, Pacers and OKC, we had the under and we had the Pacers. So both those bets closed ahead of the market. We saw a very late push towards the Pacers. We saw 8.5s pop up. Circa closed at 8.5, one of the sharpest books in the world. I had no choice but to pick up a late Pacers ticket. I said on the show last time I was not opposed to picking up a late Pacers ticket, and if you were watching that game, you would have seen Benedict Mathurin turn it over on the very last possession, where if he didn't turn it over, it would have been a free layup to get us that backdoor cover, but that's okay. So we lose on both the under and the Pacers against the spread. We cashed the Chicago Sky money line. Nice plus money bet there. We did not cash the under on that game despite closing, the over on that game despite closing ahead of the market. And then we originally bet the Mystics plus 4.5, but we ended up dumping that ticket because we saw 6s pop up. Well, that spread ended up going back towards Washington, but Washington ended up getting blown out. So dumping the ticket was the right decision based on the result. So we'll take it. I don't recommend dumping every ticket you get. You got to pick your spots, but let's have a look at the slate. So only WNBA games. I've got 6 games to cover. I've got 5 bets locked in. All 5 of them are ahead of the market. That's all you can ask for. All 5 are ahead of the market. So first, we have the Atlanta Dream playing in New York against the Liberty. We have Jonquel Jones coming back for the Liberty. She is a defensive presence, one of the starting bigs, so that's a big addition for the Liberty. We see this spread open at around 8. Some places it is now 9, and we see here at Bet365 it is 8.5. So I personally don't have anything on this game. I think it's a very well priced line. Like, you'd be tempted to take the Dream given how well they've been playing. Their best team against the spread this season, but you have this Liberty team coming off their first loss of the season. You know they want to bounce back. This is a pretty important game for them in the Commissioner's Cup as well, so I have no opinion on this side. In terms of the total, we see it at 163 here at Bet365. It opened at 163. It got as high as 165, and now is back at 163. Let me see if there are any like good numbers. I mean, my numbers say 160, so I would be looking towards playing the under in this game. However, I think we might have missed the high point of this market. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the best available under spot for this game. Best available under is, I think it's at BetMGM or Neds if you're in Australia. If you're in Australia, Neds and Ladbrokes, they use the same lines as BetMGM. 163.5 minus 105, that's not a bad number, and that's something I may look to take. As of right now, though, I do not have any bets on this game. Another reason why I like the under is Jonquel Jones will be coming back. She is a defensive presence, former defensive player of the year, so that's not a bad bet to place. And I think we're on the wrong game. Let's go. There we go. Fever and Sun. This is a very big spread we have right here. We saw this open at 15.5. It is now up to 18. Like, you're paying a tremendous Caitlin Clark tax on this game. Now, yeah, my numbers have this at Fever minus 23. So, look, I've got no, I can't get there chasing steam on an 18-point line. If you want to, more power to you. Looking at the total, we saw this open at, what did it open at? 164. Got as high as 166 and is now at 164 again. Best available price for this total. There's 164.5 at Bet Rivers. That's another book I would highly recommend you pick up. Tab Touch if you're in Australia. Very slow to move their lines, and you can just always pick up great bets, especially in these WNBA markets. So we do see some 164.5s. That's not bad. I mean, my numbers do like the under as well. I haven't played this total as of yet, but this is another spot where I'm not opposed to taking an under. I'm certainly not taking the Fever, but that's one to look out for if this total does continue to move. And I haven't even told you guys, make sure you go follow me on Twitter, get these bets as I place them. By the time I get to the show, sometimes they are no longer available. I'm still at the point where I'm mostly betting on market reads. I'm not paying too much attention to my model. Like, I'm not placing a bet just because my model thinks there's an edge. I just don't think it's ready for that yet. But if my numbers and the market agrees, then I'm certainly going to be all over it. So I've got nothing here on this game. Let's have a look at the next one. Next, a game that we do have a bet in. That is the Washington Mystics at the Chicago Sky. This spread opened at 3. We got this at Mystics minus 7.5. Great spot for the Mystics as well, coming off a big 40-point loss. We have the Chicago Sky coming off their second win of the season, I believe. So very nice spot, taking a team off a loss, taking a bad team off a win. And yeah, I'm sitting on a Mystics minus 3.5. Got that down for 1 unit. Best available price, you can get a minus 4 at Bet Rivers. You can get a minus 4 at Bovada. Both of those are definitely playable in my opinion. So if you do have access to those books, I would go ahead and grab yourself a Mystics minus 4. It's just a great spot to fade the Chicago Sky coming off a win. Look at the total. We saw it open at 158.5, and this one was very interesting. And this goes back to what I was talking about at the start of the show. There are just some bad numbers that just stay there hanging around for way too long, and this is stuff that's not going to happen in the NBA. NBA, someone's going to nuke that number and smash it back to what it should be. Here, we had the market start to creep down from 158.5, but Bet Rivers or Tab Touch in Australia, they just kept a 159.5 up in the market for way too long. So Played that under for 1 unit. Now seeing this total at 156.5. We're sitting on 2 great tickets in this game. My number's right there at 156.5. So we're right there with the total. I do not think it's worth playing into now, but if you do have Bovada or Bet Rivers Tab Touch available, I would go play the Mystics -4. Next game on the card is the Golden State Valkyrie playing the Dallas Wings. We saw this total. We saw this spread open at 1.5 to the Wings. It is now at -3 to the Wings. My numbers have this at Valkyrie -5.5, Wings +5.5. Now, one thing to note is the Valkyries, they have a lot of players who are about to go to Eurobasket. Hence, you see the line movement. They're missing like 4 rotation players at the moment. So, hence why I've got this at Valkyrie -5.5. Look, I don't know enough about these players to be playing into this game. I don't know how to price these guys, so I'm just staying away. I'm not touching this game side or total. We saw the total. What did it open at? Opened at 163.5. It has gone under a little bit. Again, I just have absolutely zero opinion on this matchup. Next, we have the Las Vegas Aces versus the Minnesota Lynx. This one is our best ticket of the day. Again, go follow me on Twitter at SoulCovers. We tweeted out, go take the Lynx -8. This spread is now 13. Like, just a wild line movement. Now, most of that does have to do with the fact that A'ja Wilson will be sitting this one out again. But look, yeah, my rationale for this was like concussion protocol players normally going to be out a week. A'ja Wilson, it's been about 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 days since she suffered that head injury. There was just like there was risk of this spread going out to like there was risk of this spread moving in the favor of the Lynx. I mean, my numbers have this at Lynx -12, so just a no-brainer taking this Lynx team, fading this Aces team that just have been underperforming. Second worst team in the league against the spread, as you can see on screen. So we're on the Lynx -8. I'm not playing any of this back as well. We got that down for 1 unit on the Lynx -8, and I'm sorry if you're coming into this with nothing, but this is more than priced out. I think you can only look to back the Aces at this point. But look at the total. We've seen it open at 163.5. I think it did, yeah, it got as high as 164.5. Now back at 163. I have nothing here on the total. So let's move on. Who have we got next? Just another game that we have absolutely crushed. Next game on the card is the Seattle Storm and the LA Sparks. Storm coming off a bad loss to the Valkyries. They opened as 3-point favorites in this game, now 9.5-point favorites. This is because Kelsey Plum has been ruled out. She's one of the best shooters in the WNBA. She's certainly the best offensive player on the LA Sparks, so hence why you see the spread jump out to 9.5 to the Storm. You see the total plummet, absolutely plummet. What am I on? Well, I'm on the Storm -4.5. I'm on the under 162. So we're just sitting on some fucking beautiful tickets in this one. And again, like Kelsey Plum gets ruled out, and this total, most of the market goes to 159.5, but Bet Rivers, Tab Touch in Australia, they're holding a 162. They're holding that around for like 15, 20 minutes. That is not going to happen in the NBA. Like, yes, I will partake in this. I go and grab a unit on 162.5 under. I go grab a unit on Storm -4.5. 2 great tickets. Looking at it now. Again, this is not going to happen in the NBA. Again, I'm sorry, but both of these total and side are both priced out. In fact, I think you can only look to back the Sparks at 9.5. That is definitely the resistance point there. And I think that's all the games. Did I miss any? No. I did not. So let's have a look at our best bets for today. We have 5 bets, and all 5 of them are ahead of the market. We have 5 bets. Lynx -8, that's now at 13. We have the under between the Sky and the Mystics, that's now at 156.5. We have the Mystics -3.5. You can still go get a -4 at Bovada or Bet Rivers. I would go play those. They still seem to be a bit off market. We're also on the Storm -4.5 and the under 162. And if you've made it this far to the episode, like I said, if you're a fan of making money, go follow me on Twitter. Go tail these bets as I tweet them out, because as we see on screen, all 5 of these bets are well and truly ahead of the market, and we're going to do extremely well. We're going to do extremely well in these bets, and we're going to continue to do really well in the WNBA as well. Till next time, let's get the books salty.